What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. Today's video, episode 4, 2 passes, 1 run, 335 wide double spy edition. But before we get into the video, guys, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you're notified every single day when I upload here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden 20 live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zan Madden. The link is below in the description, and I do have exclusive sub-only content for my Twitch Prime and Tier 1 subscribers. My Tier 2 subscribers will receive my Washington Redskins Hot Route Master offense on top of those sub tips that go out each and every Friday. I do go live every day at 2 p.m. Central Time, and subs also get emotes and song requests. Okay, guys, let's get into today's video, episode 4 of 2 passes, 1 run. This is a series that I'm doing every single Monday where we take a look at a meta defense and try to show you 2 passes that you can call against this and 1 run. Now, the topic of today's video is the 335 wide double spy defense. This is typically a man under defense. You do see some people run a zone variation of this as well. Very, very good run defense in general. And this week, I'm going to go actually show you 2 runs that actually can explode against this, and also show you a couple passing concepts to deal with this. Now, beyond that, I've also done a fair number of videos on countering the 335 wide over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll be sure to link a few of those in the description of this video as well, for those that are looking for more content for attacking this particular defense beyond today's video. So let's go ahead and get into the first tip. Now, we're going to be looking at the Tennessee Titans playbook, and we're going to be looking at a play that is a little bit more rare than, it's not as widely available. I would say it is in a fair amount of playbooks, and it is the fullback fake halfback flip. Now, this is a counter concept. So if you're looking for the concepts, just go into your playbook and go to concepts, and then go down a few tabs to counter. Every playbook has a different number of counter runs, and you're going to notice that the Titans book doesn't actually have a whole lot of them, but the best one of which they do have is the I-form wing fullback fake halfback flip. So we're going to go ahead and call that here. Now let's go ahead and set this up. Now, everyone knows 335 wide, double spy defense. You're going to spread your line, crash your line to the inside, press your coverage, and spy both of your safeties. And you're going to move this guy down, back to safety depth. So you're basically playing this front that looks wide open in the middle. And I wanted to show you guys 2 runs that attack this, because I feel like this is a formation that does invite the run. And when you go to those ISO calls and those, the dive type calls, for some reason, it just is very, very frustrating, because what ends up happening is when you decide to go ISO, you get these players that just basically fly straight down. So I'm going to go ahead and snap the ball, and you're going to see what I'm talking about, how the safeties and everybody just kind of plug the middle. Now, if you have a power back, you could fall forward, but the problem is a lot of players will put enforcer safeties at both of these spots along the back to make sure that you're always getting tackled backwards instead of falling forward. Now, when you face people that just have regular Joe Schmo like Ed Reed or Minkah Fitzpatrick out there with no tackling abilities in MUT, it's easier to fall forward and, at least kind of keep that 3, 4, 5, 6 yard average per carry. But when you face the Taylor Mays, Sean Taylor type players that really get the enforcer, you're met at the point of contact and you're tackled straight backwards. And it doesn't really matter if you have, Bo Jackson or Dickerson or those guys. And a lot of times they're using a Taylor Mays at the middle linebacker spot as their user and clicking off as well to get a lot of those hit stick tackles. So this is very, very tough to consistently run on. Now, the one thing that is great against this is the counter meta. Now, the problem is a lot of counters in the game are slow developing. This counter I'm going to show you right here is the fullback flip it's the fullback dive fake, and it's going to be a halfback flip. So what ends up happening is when they do this here, you get these 2 spies, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to hand the fake handoff to your fullback, and everybody will fly to the middle. Both the spies will fly to the middle. The user should be flying up the middle as well to bite on the fullback dive, because that is a run that should be able to pop them for 2 to 3 yards. So they're going to fly in on that. And then what ends up happening is you're going to pitch the ball to the outside. Now, the tackle on this play, Lewin, he's going to try to turn out the outside linebacker, which is this player, Ferguson. I just clicked through him right there, but we'll go ahead and get on him again. This is the matchup that you're looking at right here. Left tackle versus the right outside linebacker, which is actually the left side of the screen from the offensive point of view. So this right outside backer is the one that you're trying to get hands on. So if you can get him blocked on this play, you end up really making this work. And you see how you can get to the outside, you hold your blocks, and this can end up being a pretty big run, especially if you have a physical back, jukebox, arm bar, spin cycle. You basically have 1 or 2 guys to beat at the most on this run. So as we take a look at the replay here, the way this works is you see how we go straight up the middle to the fullback, and have both those safeties fill the A gaps. And typically speaking, this user, which would be this guy right here, will be flying straight into this gap as well. Now from here, we're pitching this to the outside. This is one of the rare pitches in the game that actually gets outside. Now, my one main concern is if they have a no outsiders outside linebacker at this spot, there's a good chance that this gets shedded, which is why I want to show you a second run in this video as well, just in case, because this is going to be actually a pretty good mini scheme. We're going to show you 2 passes that you could run out of this I-form wing and 2 runs. So you could actually scheme up pretty well against this defense and do a solid job. So let's go ahead and show this again here. So we're going to go ahead and set up the defense, which is spread your defensive line, crash your D-line to the insides. You're going to go ahead and press, and then you're going to back up your user and spy both of your safeties. Now, again, when the ball is snapped, the user typically runs down into the A gap and clicks off. I'm not going to be able to do that here in this example. So I'm going to go ahead and click off and just kind of show you how the AI plays this in general. So you do the fake, and you're going to get to the outside. Now, right there, we didn't get a great block on the corner. We still were able to get outside and pick up solid yards. This is just enough to make them think, okay, I do not want to spy my safeties, because let's go ahead and show you what this looks like when they don't spy the safeties. So when we run it this way with the safeties in coverage, yes, you're going to notice that the safeties probably flow and react better. You see how the safety is out there. You can actually still run this on this defense because the safeties are not in the run fit. But it's better for them to be dropping back in coverage, because that in turn is going to open up, you know, if they have to worry about that pitch, then you could go ahead and hit your ISOs, because now those safeties aren't playing downhill. You try to run the ball down their throat. Now your ISO game is back. Your inside run game is back when they aren't spying those safeties. So it's a cat and mouse game. It's a great run defense. Don't get me wrong, but you have to show them that you do have a run that makes them think about spying both of those safeties. Because even if they just spy one of the 2 safeties, that's still a much worse gap integrity than spying both. So that is one run, the fullback fake, halfback flip. I know it's kind of gimmicky. If they have a no outsiders, you might have some worry about him block shedding that. It's designed to really only block shed against outside zone. This is a counter. So, you know, test that out and see if that actually impacts you too well. But that is one that you could do. Now, the other run that we could do is going to be a power G. Power G is a really, really solid run scheme against this particular defense. So we're going to go ahead and show this to you again here. We're in the I-form wing. Now, the power G is much more widely available, significantly more widely available. The fullback fake, halfback flip, I'm going to name a few playbooks that it's in. It's in the Niners, Run Balanced, Bengals, Broncos, Falcons, Giants, Redskins, which is a book that I run, Tennessee Titans, Run Heavy, Houston Texans, and Green Bay Packers. So it's in, you know, a good 11 out of, you know, close to 40 playbooks across the game. Now, the next run we're going to show you is the Power G. Power G is in quite a few playbooks as well. It's in, actually, let me see, 3, 6, 9, 12. It's in 14 playbooks. So this particular run we're about to show you, Power G, is in, we go to this formation here. It is in the Bears, Bengals, Browns, Chiefs, Giants, Jags, Lions, Packers, Panthers, Ravens, Redskins, Steelers, and Titans. So as you can see, Redskins book, which is one of my favorites, has both of these runs that you can run against the 3-5 wide. But there are some other books that are rather good that are meta. Carolina Panthers has both of these runs that you can call against the 3-5 wide. But there's also, you know, some other books that are pretty solid as well. So definitely take a look at it. Packers is another book that's got, you know, tight offset, tight end. And then you could run this against the 3-5 wide down the goal line. So, you know, just depends on how you want to scheme your game up. There are formations or in playbooks in the game that do have this run scheme that are pretty meta. So let's go ahead and take the field with it. In this situation, you would typically want to have your tight ends to the wide side of the field pre-snap. And what you're going to do, we'll go ahead and set this up here again. You're going to be running this because this is a front side pulling guard play. So when they call this, this is a front side pulling guard play. We take a look at our blocking scheme. This guy is uncovered, Davis. He is going to pull out and try to kick out block, as well as your fullback blazing game. They're both going to do the same thing. But you notice that the lead man is the front side pulling guard. You see that his blocking angle goes all the way to the outside, and blazing game is going to peel up inside of that block. So what you're trying to do is follow your fullback, stay maybe outside of your fullback, but inside of the pulling guard. And this should open up a nice little canal. You see right there, off tackle. And then you just got one guy to beat. You see, if you break that tackle, you can end up being gone. So even when they spy those safeties, this is a great run that you can call against the 3-5 wide. So we'll go ahead and spy both those safeties again. Here's your defense. And, you know, you back it up to here. And when we call this, again, I got to click off because I can't use their both controls at the same time. You're just going to kind of try to hit this little gap right in between the two pulling players and pick up your yardage. Now, of course, any run can be block shed. Any run in the game can be. But this one actually gets you to the line of scrimmage without being contacted, you know, in the backfield, which is the case with your ISOs and your, you know, those types of runs. So again, here's your play art. Go ahead and click off here, get on nose tackle. Again, you're just going to try to follow these blocks, get out wide. You know, that example, the safety filled really well. You can start to mess with motion. But this run is a little bit better than your ISO, in my opinion, just because a lot of players are expecting, typically speaking, they're expecting, you know, your stretch and your dive, and the power G is just a little bit different, you know. So try to hit this run up inside and just try to, you know, hit that gap. You're taking the user out of the play. The user is not going to be able to hit you. So really at that point, it's all in the safety. It is really all in the safety. See right here, there's really, this is an extremely tough gap shoot. Right here, we actually don't get a great block by Delanie Walker on Humphrey. But you can see how it's just kind of this mosh, and you're trying to hit this crease right here. If you can get through this gap that's set up by the cut block on the pulling guard, if your fullback can throw a block where, you know, Delanie Walker doesn't get instantly shedded by the nickel back, if he can hold that block just a split second longer, that allows 41, who then has to block. We take a look. It's really hard for me to move my controller here. You can see how Blazing Game has to retarget on this play. If Delanie Walker does his job on 44 right here, he just puts enough of a block and can hold that, Blazing Game doesn't have to retarget because Blazing Game is looking for Tony Jefferson on this play. So get the block on 44. Blazing Game is going to go ahead and block Tony Jefferson, and then you're out through this gap right here. You're hitting this gap to get to the outside. So this all starts with getting the block on the nickel corner. If you can get the block on the nickel corner, everything else falls into place. So the important spot to block on this would definitely be Delanie Walker, which it actually is a little bit frustrating that Delanie Walker doesn't throw that block there. But that is what you're looking for. You know, you can hit, boom, just like that. You get the block. That is the guy that you want to pay attention to get outside. So that is your target for the Power G. Now let's go ahead and get into a couple passing plays out of this. I-form wing is kind of straightforward as a passing scheme. I do like this because what you're going to end up doing is be able to throw some of those hitches. We broke down 4 hitches against 3-3-5 wide last week. Again, that video is in the description. But I like to use the play curls out of I-form wing because what you're going to be able to do here is notice that you've got a smart hitch to Davis. You can go ahead and smart hitch that up, and that's going to be unbumpable. So if you think about this, you know, we set this defense up. You're going to get no press animation on Corey Davis on the outside. You could just go ahead and throw this corner route or this little hitch. You see right here? Just a free release, low ball, fall down. That's going to cause your opponent enough frustration here that they're going to have to, at some point, go to cloud flats. And if they go cloud flats, that means they can't spy this player, because if they spy this player and they go cloud flats, they're taking a chance that at some point you might just test them and go up top where, you know, he could beat that cloud flat. Notice that the cloud flat doesn't press him on that play either. You're able to lob that over the top. So you can play the cat and mouse game with a simple play like curls where you have a smart routed hitch. Now, another thing that you could do here on this particular play curls is actually go to a smart routed hitch to your other tight end. Now, there's a little trick to do this here, but we'll go ahead and show it to you. In order to smart route B on the hitch, he's actually on an angled hitch. It's not a route that you can smart route. So what you have to do is you have to motion, you have to put Delanie Walker. Actually, it's not even letting me do that here. Let me see here. This formation is a little bit different than your strong H wing. All right, so what I was going to actually do is I was going to motion Delanie Walker and detach him from the play. Detach the B receiver, because basically if you can get Delanie Walker motioned away, that will allow you to turn the B receiver into a slot receiver, which then allows you to put him on a hitch and then smart route it, which will give you 2 unbumpable hitches. But you can kind of see here, I mean, this is still a route that you can throw and get body positioning. It's not a great route. I would probably not use it from the stock alignment just because I don't like it in tight. That's too easy to use her. And you see that, you know, you can get those break on the back type animations. But that regular hitch on the outside is still rather good because it doesn't get pressed. You see how it's just an easy, it's an easy throw. Now, again, gift wrapped, we talked about that. These are the throws that you want your gift wrapped on because it is a body positioning throw. You want to be able to consistently make this throw. You could also low ball it, low ball and possession catch to get the roll. So that way they don't tackle you. That's another way that you could do it. That's a solid way to attack the man coverage on the outside. Now, what I do want to talk about is a play. Once they start going to more of a zone version of this, there is a really nice play that has been a very well-kept secret all year long, and that is actually the play PA spot. So if you catch your opponent starting to mix in some Tampa 2, PA spot is such a great play against this because what ends up happening is you have a corner route that basically can beat cloud flats with no pull route. It's pretty incredible. So you don't even need a deep, well, the deep safety might be able to make a play here in this example. The other thing, they're going to really have to run this on auto flip. They're going to have to make sure that they have that corner. So if you catch them coming out with, the corner on the opposite side, chances are that means their auto flip is off. You could run the ball at the weak side of the formation as well. But this play PA spot is really, really good because what you could do is just throw this little corner route over the top of the cloud flat. Cloud flats will not play that corner route. So if you're getting people that are liking to mix in cloud flats on the outside, like if they're playing man-to-man, obviously if they're playing man-under, so you see when they call man-under, he auto-aligns to the tight end side. If they're doing this, I mean, you're really not going to be able to throw the ball to the corner route unless you have post-flag elite on your tight end, especially with the nickelback guarding him. But, if Delaney Walker has post-flag elite, you should be able to, get that guy open against man-to-man as well. Another thing you could do, especially if you're, noticing that they're running safeties and spies, the leverage, if you can get enough speed right here, I know Darren Waller, Evan Ingram at this point in the year, they're really fast. If they're getting a press right here in this situation, you can get over the top. You really can get over the top. Now, again, like this tight end is not faster than that corner, but you know how mud is where, if they're not really playing the safeties over the top, you can get Darren Waller with a free release right down the middle of the field at 96, 97 speed, Evan Ingram at 97 speed. There are ways to get wide receivers in at tight end in this game to get, 99 speed at the tight end spot. If they're not careful, you could take a shot straight down the middle. That goes without saying. That's one of the easier ways to keep your opponent honest is just occasionally take a shot down the middle of the field. Make them at least know, hey, if you're going to spy your safeties every rip, then I will take a shot down the middle of the field, especially if their user is not staying honest. If you get their user to have to think, okay, I got to take the vertical, that's going to open up the underneath game. Passing the ball in this set, out of this set, is a little bit more challenging. There is one more play that I want to show. I mean, this is originally 2 passes, 1 run. We're just going to show you like a bunch of stuff you could do here in this video because I've gotten a ton of requests for this formation. But don't sleep on post shot. I mean, we've talked about post shot before on the channel, especially if they go to that Tampa 2 variety of this play. You can take a shot over the top pretty easily on this play. We've broken this one down before. This is a stock cover 2 killer. So if we show this to you here, watch how, well, we're going to get sacked right here. Let me go ahead and re-snap it here. What happens with this play is if you just call this play stock against your Tampa 2 variety of this play, you're going to be able to throw that post route wide open. So go ahead and show this to you here. Notice how this post just goes wide open over the top against the cover 2. Now, not the biggest arm on Tannehill, but I was going to underthrow that, so I had to click on and stop and then rat catch it. But you notice that play just bombs cover 2. So, you're going to be able to beat, especially if they run the 2-man under variety. I mean, that is a great way to attack them. So let's say that they're in the 2-man under. It doesn't matter if they're playing safeties in a spy or not. We'll show you an example here. Now, again, Corey Davis will have to have post flag elite to make this work, but go ahead and show it to you anyways here. So you see Corey Davis will have to, be able to beat his man over the top. And again, Tannehill doesn't have an arm at all in this game, but you can see how that safety in a deep half doesn't respond. So imagine this here. The safety is going to take himself out of the play because he basically drifts on, there's crossing routes and then the post is coming from the, he doesn't know this post is coming over here. I don't know why, but he starts to drift. You notice how he bites down right before we throw this ball. So if Tannehill has any arm strength at this point, it's just post flag elite versus man up corner. you know, the man-to-man corner. And if you have post flag elite, and trust me, I've done this a million times this year, guys like Megatron, you're going to be able to throw this bomb all the way over the top to here rather than how short Tannehill threw it here. So, you know, this is one of those plays where you could just honestly stock snap this against your 2-man under 3-3-5 wide meta. And if they're playing the deep halves, it will not matter. Absolutely will not matter. So, show it to you again here. I'm going to try to make sure these guys don't +1 blitz. I just want to show you the 7-on-7 of it. So let me go ahead and pull the pass rushers out. Just showing you 7-on-7 here. With this play stock, just look at the coverage. Corey Davis going to, you know, try to beat his man. You see how that safety takes himself out of the play? Now, again, we got no extra speed boost from Corey Davis right there. He didn't run the route. He doesn't have an ability. But post flag elite on your solo receiver on post shot is a one-play bomb against this defense. Now, imagine, obviously, if they're worried about the run. They're starting to play their 2-man under. They're doing the meta setups like so. And, you know, they got their safeties both playing downhill. All you need at that point is just to be able to win off the line. Doesn't matter if they're playing, you know, outside quarters on the outside. A lot of players will do this. I mean, that's going to give you a free bomb. So if you catch your opponents doing a defense like this, where they think that they can just run this and lurk the middle of the field, they're going to play that crossing route. So, you know, they're going to see the A receiver on a crossing route and just watch. I mean, this is what you're going to see every single time when you go to this. They're going to see the crossing route off the line, and then boom, that post breaks all the way over the top. Just basically a Portland concept. That's really all it is. So, you know, as far as attacking 3-5 wide, it's about knowing, not worrying so much about them playing downhill. It's more or less about knowing what adjustments they're using beyond the safeties, or having the run game to get them to stop spying their safeties, and then you can actually run the ball with a real run scheme. So you could use the power G, you could use the fake fullback dive, halfback flip, get them to stop spying those safeties, and then you can attack them with ISOs and regular stretches and, you know, power O's and counters and, you know, whatever runs you want to call. Or if the run game isn't working, I mean, we just showed you a few ways that you can attack this. And then again, guys, there's more passing concepts in the description. So I know this was kind of just a very jumbled up kind of, hey, here's just a verbal vomit of concepts you can run against 3-5 wide, but I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me in the last week saying, hey, you know, how do you actually move on the 3-5 wide? It's all just figuring out what they're doing, not only from the safety standpoint, but also what they're doing with their corners. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what defenses you want to see next week for 2 passes, 1 run, and we'll return to actually showing you 2 passes and a run. Today, I just wanted to show you as much as I possibly could out of one formation, just how you have to think about attacking this formation. And this is a formation, honestly, I don't even run. I don't even run the I-form wing anymore. This was in the Oakland tour that I left months ago when I went to the Washington Redskins book, but hopefully the information is beneficial for you guys. So we'll see you guys next week with our next edition of 2 passes, 1 run, or we'll just see you guys tomorrow with our next upload in general. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.